What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Bud Crawford. Get this. Terence Crawford addresses the origin of certain fighters. This is what he had to say. He said, Errol Spence ain't from Texas. He's from New York. And the Charlos, twin Charlos, ain't from Texas. They're from Louisiana. Let me counterpunch. I think that, he's true. They were born, like Errol Spence is born in New York. Okay, Jamal and Jermel were born in Louisiana, okay, where I'm from. It's kind of biased to me because, especially with the Charlos, because I would prefer them repping Louisiana, more than Texas, because I'm from Louisiana. You know what I mean? So, but I think at the end of the day, like Regis Prograis does. He's from New Orleans, but I do believe that those guys. I believe where you're from is where you grew up. So I don't think it matters where you were born. I think where you grew up dictates who you are, dictates your language, dictates your culture, dictates everything around you. Who did you grow up around? What were you exposed to? Okay, that's dictates, I think, where you're from. Okay, the bulk of from the ages of 5 to 17 dictates where you're from. And let's face it, you think Errol Spence Jr., do you really think that this guy is New York? I'm Errol Spence. Do you think Errol Spence is from New York? No. He was born in New York. He grew up in Texas. And if we want to get deeper into that, he's Jamaican man. Everything is Irie. Okay, so his people are from Jamaica, the country of Jamaica. Okay, so we have to let that be known of what that is. So it's like, there you go. You know what I mean? And the Charlos, if they grew up in Houston, that's where they're from. And a lot of times people tend to cling to the smaller places. The bigger places as opposed to like Lafayette. Lafayette is a small town. It ain't the smallest, but it's not the biggest by far. It's like maybe the fourth or the third. Definitely the fourth or the fifth, right? But they tend to cling to those bigger cities, especially if they grew up there. But I'm not really sure. I don't know a lot about Houston, so when I hear them talk, I don't really hear Lafayette though. Just like you don't hear nothing from New York when you hear of Errol the Truth Spence. But one thing is for sure. I think Terence Crawford brought this up because he's from Omaha. He was born in Omaha. He was raised in Omaha. Therefore, he's from Omaha. That's why I think that he brought that up, because there's nothing funny or different or contradictive about Terence Bud Crawford. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Terence Crawford calling out the Charlos and Errol Spence on the origin of where they claim they're from. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.